Alright. Testing. Testing. It's working. I can hear my voice. Let me see if I can hear my voice on stream. Yep, it's working. Hello! Hi, everyone! Welcome back to another Joshua Star 77 stream. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing well. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today because I have something I got to do tonight. But, yeah. I'm going to do a little bit more trick-or-treat hunting because I might only have 2 more trick-or-treat streams left because I'm going to have a very busy weekend ahead. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream every other day of the event anymore. So, I'm going to stream tonight, maybe stream tomorrow or Saturday, and that might be it for the event. So, I have a very busy weekend. That's why I might not be able to record the final days of the event. So, plus I still got other videos I gotta make for the other days as well. So, yeah, I need to make sure I make... I already have video... I have a video for Friday already. Saturday, I did the recording of the top 10. I just need to edit it. And then I need to have a video for Sunday and Monday, which I can do that tonight and tomorrow. So that's the plan. I might be busy, so I'll catch as you stream. Alright, Dark J Strike. Hi, Ollie5817. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Exotic Bubblegum. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Zintendo. Yo, what's up, Josh? You finally aren't streaming during my class? Yeah, I've been streaming early most days. Today, I decided to wait till after class ends. I'm in a team I want to fight you with. Alright, yeah, we can battle in a little bit. I gotta go do something in 30, though. Alright. Hi, Aharo Solus. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Literally Real. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, my top 10 reworked Lumions video is going to be Saturday. I already recorded the audio in the script. I just need to do the editing of the video. So that won't take that long. I need to think of more showcase ideas, though, is the hardest part. Because I have a showcase already done for tomorrow. But I need a showcase for Sunday and a showcase for Monday. Bring the Geklos? Alright, I can bring the Geklos. Yeah, we can do the team of Geklos again. Hello, how are y'all doing? I'm doing good. Kiyame Zook, welcome to the stream. Hi, the Beanster, welcome to the stream. Josh, can I show you my finds? What finds do you have as Narcissus? Also, welcome to the stream. I failed an alpha Halloween Celesting and uploaded my crash out. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. I see you had a community post about Armenti making a video after so long. Yeah, Armenti finally made a LL video. It's the first time I think he did so in like a year. So, hey, he made a video. That's good. That's cool. It started early? Yep, Starwalker. I usually start early. Is a Dracodyne bad if a Draco Beam did 54% to a Foolish Ganderville? That's not that much damage. It must have been a defensive Ganderville or something. Defensive Ganderville or defensive Drago, because wow. Gamma Halloween Dusk right now, trust? I wish. Unfortunately, Gamma Halloween Duskets don't exist. It's just Alpha. But hey, I can dream for one. Maybe T. Bradham is watching the stream right now, and he's like, alright, let's show a Gamma Halloween Dusket. Let's just spawn one in. Not defensive? Wow. So yeah, that must have been a defensive Dragodyne then. Got all 4. I got 4 Gleam Halloween Dusket, all colors. Gleam Halloween Celesting, 2 Gamma Gleam Halloween Celesting, 2 Gleam Halloween Celestings, and an SA long one along with a Gleam Metro, and I got Golub, Gleam Halloween Sachi, and Gamma Gleam Halloween Dractus, all my OT. Wow, that's a lot of good finds. That's a lot of good finds in the event. The Monotype team I've made on Dream Teams. Okay, you can show me later. I'm going to hunt for like the first 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. But yeah, I will be arriving shortly. Exactly. I was wondering why the video had no views. It was on private. Oh, it was on private. Do you know Robot64? I do not know Robot64. I assume that's a game on Roblox. That's a Mario 64 clone, I assume. Especially if Boots Helvantic viable? Yes, it is. It definitely is. I've noticed that I don't think I've seen any of Literally Real's channel. What is your channel? Let me check. Okay, yeah, you've made a lot of videos. At least recently. Ooh. Alright. I might have to check some of these videos out once I end the stream. I'll check it out after. Robot 64's peak. I cannot arrive, servers full. Aw, it sucks. Literally random stuff. Oh, it happens. But yeah, I hope. But yeah, I might only have 1 or 2 days left to stream this event. So, my odds of getting a Gamma Metronoli are not looking so hot. Because yeah, I have a busy weekend. Let's just say that I have a party I gotta go to on Sunday. Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, I'm gonna help my dad build a shed. So, I'm gonna be pretty busy during those days. And yeah, it's basically 4 days in a row where I might not be able to live stream. Maybe I'll be able to live stream to start a Saturday, but that might be it. So yeah, my weekend is looking very packed. So I gotta stream today and tomorrow in order to make up for me missing those days. Hi Faro, welcome to the stream. Literally got a notification you are live. Hey! Joined just in time. I literally just got started hunting. The odds are low, but not 0. Yep, the odds are low, but it isn't 0. All I need is the 1 in 128 of the Gamma, the 1 in 615 odds to land just once. All I need is just land once on the pity encounter, and we're good. We're golden. Any quick advice for building a hyper-offensive team? Last time I played was during the Yokai Lumions update, and my friends now my friends are better than me. Hyper-offense, get Gargolum speed as your lead, and then have a Luminami in it, and then 5 offensive Lumions. That's the way to go. And make sure you have Lumions that can block the typical pivot move. So like add a Tots on your team to block Flash and Flay. Gargolum speed already blocks Zip Zap, so you can use that. And then add a light type of some sort so you can block Fade Away. And then have 1 Lumion that can control the Hazards game, which Gargolum speed can already do that. So yeah. Hyper offensive team 101. Can my mask get extreme speed from air type climate cannon? Or extra speed? That I actually don't know about. I assume it can if it switches. If there's at least a chance and a trillion chance, it's possible. Fair. I started my pure Dusket hunting now. Use Scientic for hyper offense. Yeah, Scientic can work because you can have a clutch plushie and then click Baron boost and sweep the late game. Do you need weather and hyper offense? You could use a weather setting Lumion so you can override other people's weathers, but or you could use a hyper offense strong gust team. That could work too. But yeah, I don't think hyper offensive teams run weather unless it's strong gust. Heat wave is just too volatile. Rain? I guess rain could work. I think rain hyper offense could work because Levatros late game could be dangerous. Thunderstorm's hyper offense wouldn't work because earth and plant types are way too problematic. And Fog Team's hyper offense, I mean, could work, but you're forced to run Charonix, who doesn't really have that much offense. Yeah, plus you have priority moves like Light Dash on Scientic, which helps as well. Yeah, my mask can work in any weather because Climate Cannon. Same for Ferroglyph. They both have Climate Cannon, so they can work for pretty much any weather. Nice. Yay. Why is Goggles Deludrix kind of rare? It still hurts. The reason why Goggles Deludrix is rare is because the only time Goggles Deludrix would ever be used if it's setting up weather for itself on a non-rain team. That's the only time I would even really recommend Goggles on Deludrix. Any other time, it just sucks as a main rain setter. It has the offenses, but it just can't stay alive. You cannot run the rain scale on Deludrix, because if you do, your Deludrix dies in one hit, and then you can't override other weathers. Usually I like using the clutch plushie on Deludrix so I can, at least survive a hit, and then have a secondary rain setter like water scale Diborg or water scale Oxydrake and then set up the rain more consistently. But yeah, the Ludrix can, and it can utilize the rain well, but it just doesn't survive long enough to utilize it well. Bezeldu is better as a rain setter in my opinion. Honestly, I think Bezeldude might be worse. While it is more consistent at switching into other rains and overriding other weathers, the problem with Deludrix is that if you with Bezeldude is that if you use Bezeldude, you have a dead spot on your team. You have a dead weight on your team if you use Rain Scale Bezeldude. And if you use Drop of Youth to stay alive, again, you have a dead weight on your team that doesn't really do anything other than set up the rain. Compare that to some of the other weather setters like Whippledrift, who could set up a Hasten and Sweep. Plasmoth, who could do pretty much anything at once. Tronix, who has double pivot. And Billaforge, who can get rid of hazards and do Scorching Skin. Bezeldude and Deludrix just doesn't have that much going for them. Like, Deludrix has good offense, but that's kind of it. And Bezeldude has just defense, and that's it. They can't really do much else. Like, honestly, that's what holds Rains back. It's the weather setter itself. Not necessarily the weather. It's the weather setter. Goggles cause Willian under wind with Smart Okos Protagon with Pepper Burst. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Alright, 3 Teal Pity. Also outspeeds it with Nimble. Yep, it will outspeed with Nimble. Alright, 2 from Pity. Wish me luck. 2 from Pity. I hope... Are you kidding me? This is the second time this happened today! I don't trust this. I can't trust this. Oh no, I want to delay Pity so bad. I want to delay Pity so bad, but you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Don't delay Pity. Don't trust it. Just go for it. It's going to be a Mochibi. I mean, it's not a bad find, but it's just... I could have had a second Gleam Halloween Dusket. This legit happened earlier today. I found an Elephage 2 before Pity, and an Ikazune 1 before Pity. Earlier today. Like, come on. Really, LL? Really? I don't know if I have one of you, so I might as well just catch you. I don't care anymore. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I'm just sad. Might as well catch the Strawberry Sorelli, even though it's probably going to sweep me with Appetite, because that's what it's going to do, probably, and live every disc. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so sad. There you go, it's now down to no HP at least, so that's good. Alright, let's catch you. I'll use you in a Heart Disc, because, I mean, it actually kind of fits with you. There we go. So I can now get Strawberry of one of these two. Yeah, you can, but I might as well just catch it. That's so I could rally for other Strawberry ones. And it'll be in a good disc, too. I didn't have one of those yet, so I'm just... I guess that's a constellation prize. I am so sad. Just, like, the second time today. Before I streamed, I used some boost tokens, and I found the same thing happen. Elephage 2 before Pity, Ikazune 1 before Pity. Like, come on! Well, I guess I'm not getting that Gamma Noli Metro unless it lands on Pity. And yeah, and delaying Pity would not have helped either. Your poor soul, yeah. Should showcase Climate Can in my mask? I used Climate Can in my mask, but on Heat Wave, not in Wind. I think it could do good in Wind, because it can increase its own speed, but I don't know if it synergizes well in Wind, is the problem. The problem is I don't know if it synergizes that well. I know, that Fraudmore, that Fraudmare happened a couple streams ago. That happened a couple streams ago, I think. Hopefully my other Pity encounters go better than that one. Yeah, it has Muck Blast too. It works pretty well. I wanted to use Snagoop on Strongest, but I don't have a comfortable set with Snagoop that can work. The problem is that if I use Snagoop, then I have 3 range attacking air types. 3 range attacking air types when I could have Morpheus. Like, I'm gonna have Morpheus and Silver Stregodon. They're so overpowered. You gotta have them on every team, and then you gotta use Whippledrift, which is another one. So if I use Snagoop as my 4, I'm only gonna have 1 melee attacking air type, and if I want Wind Trick, I have 0 melee attackers. That's just so hard to use. Like, It's so hard to use Snagoop on Gust for it to synergize well. Offensively, it could work, but if you have more counters against you, you're screwed. So yeah, defensive variant evolution from Bezeldu would be amazing for Rain. Yeah, a defensive variant for that would be cool. But a defensive variant that, you know, actually has 90 or 100 range attack, so it isn't complete dead weight, could be huge too. Mass swap Dorgo with Scavenge Sob. Nah, Dorgo doesn't count. Dorgo will never count. I wonder what happens if Cosmere is still at Surrogate. Be fair, it wouldn't really change its... Oh no, it could, because it has coverage moves now, but it wouldn't work. Would it even work with Dorgo? Because Dorgo has 2 types. Dorgo has 2 types. Would that even work? Because I thought mass... We've never had a mass swap Lumion that had 2 types. Maybe that's something we should test. It apparently replaces its dark type. There's a Noli. I wish you showed up on Pity. I could have had a Gamma one of those. At the very least, let's see if your SA used it before. Hey, okay, so it gets rid of the dark one. Good to know. Unfortunately, it's Mysterious Cloak again. I'm just so sad that the Dusket came one before Pity. I'm so sad about that. That just killed the whole mood. Oh. Hopefully I can still get lucky. I will definitely go for a couple more Pities this stream, if I can get there. Because usually there are Pity killers that I gotta watch out for. Usually, they tend to be Worms and Mochibis. You all trust? You just gotta believe. I just gotta believe. When in doubt, believe, and you'll get what you want, I think. Oh, man. Oh, CBU's doing a PvP stream, or CBO, not CBU. Cotton Stoops is doing a PvP stream at 6. Alright. I'm definitely going to hop onto that. I'm definitely going to watch that stream. Maybe if I ask Cotton Stoops, maybe I can even, you know, maybe I could, not stream snipe, what is the word? BC. That'd be cool. Exactly, just hit the 1 in 128 on Pity. That's all I need to do. And also hit the 1 in 256 while you're at it, too. For the secret ability. So, you can get the alpha secret ability. And then bang, I have my secret ability. And if I get the gamma while on top of that, and Rainbow Wisp, I will have the new rarest Luvian of all time because it will be event exclusive. So it'll be even rarer than the Dakuda. That ain't happening. That's never gonna happen. Probably in the rest of LL's lifetime. That Rainbow Wisp secret ability Dakuda, that's never happening again. That is just so rare. Like 1 in 2.6 billion odds. I still can't get over at 1 in 2.6 billion. There's been less than 2.6 billion players that played the game. I just looked at people that have the first badge. Only, I think, 1 million people have the first badge. So, yeah. And that doesn't even... And that counts alt counts, too. I'm gonna drag this. I predict the next Gamma Gleam SA or out Rainbow Wisp will be either Nimue, Nemesis, or Solnecta. Either of those guys. It could be one of those. I have a feeling it's going to happen within a couple years. I don't think that's ever going to... Unless... I don't know, because auto hunting does make LL a lot easier, a lot more tolerable to hunt. To the steady financial situation. I mean, he could probably sell that Dakuda for like $1,000 bucks, or... He could probably sell that Dakuda for money. for real life, and it'll be like, hey, I got this rare Libby. You want to buy it in real life, and then I can live off of it? Yeah. Although, to be fair, prices are so expensive nowadays, so you probably wouldn't even do that. Of course, I wouldn't do that, because I don't want to be banned from LOL, because I play Loomian Legacy. I literally make money off of YouTube playing LOL, so yeah. I'm never doing that. I don't know about that one. $4 million. Guys banned JoshuaStar77 for suggesting black marketing. Like, that's the thing. What do you do if you get a 1 in 2.6 billion odds, Lumion? Do you still play LL? Do you just keep it? Do you trade it for more value? Or do you sell it and make money off of it? Like, it's against the rules. It is. But when you're in that situation, what do you do? Is your channel your full-time job? No, not my full-time, Josh. Not my full-time job. This is... Right now, it's kind of a job and a hobby, because I don't have a job yet, but I will have a job in the future. I've been hunting. This is right now more of just a thing I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing LL. I enjoy playing LL. That's the reason why I stream every day on this event and talk with y'all. I enjoy talking with the comments and talking with y'all and making LL ideas. You use it to ore farm in PvP? Yeah! Problem is that Secret Ability Dakuda is not that good in PvP. Unless you use it as a defensive Dakuda and then you Soul Burst into its other form. So yeah, I guess it could do that. Nah, I guess you could use it. But if you Soul Burst, you're not using the SA, you're using the Soul Burst ability. Yeah, I think you can only use it as a Soul Burst. You make a switch in, you block Sea Song from Sir Kame, or any other water type. Be fair, Hydrate's actually not a bad ability on Dakuda, is it? It actually isn't a bad ability. It's just, one, it's still hard to get, and two, it's just the normal ability is better for melee Dakuda. But for range, Hydrate is actually better because you could switch into Sea Song or just any other water type move in general, and then you take no damage, and then you Soul Burst, and you Electro Blast. GG's by water type. It had to be Dakuda. Could have been peak with like Phage Knot. Oh my god, Phage Knot would have been so good as an SA. I'm gonna do Nightmare Noli raids. Good luck. Vicious Snap from Garlash. I sell it. I need money for food. There are better games out there. Yeah, like, that's the thing. That's a very interesting question. Like, as the player that owns that Lumion, what would you do? Would you go against the rules of LL to cash out? Or do you stay playing LL for the long term or farm with the Lumion? Or do you trade it to someone else and trade down for a bunch of stuff? Or do you aura farm in PvP? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's a very... When you're in that position, what do you do? Like, it leads to a very interesting decision, and neither decision is the best. It's a moral decision from the player that owns that Lumion. You know what I mean? It's a moral decision. Like, the thing is, though, is if you sell it for real-life money, you get banned from LL, because you cannot sell in-game Lumions from the game. It's against the rules from Mama Train Studios. But it hasn't stopped people from doing it before. I think there was one of... It wasn't Lucky HD. It was one of his other content creators. What was his name? Poke Nova? Poke Nova did it, and he had and he made a lot of money off of it, I believe. I forgot how much he made, but he sold a lot of his rare Lumions for in real life money, and yeah, he got banned from LL because of it. I think there was also someone else that sold a lot of rare stuff in the black market too, and they made a lot of money in order to buy a car. So, and keep in mind, cars are very expensive nowadays. I bought my car with $3,100, and that was a used car that we need to manually repair. Imagine if you were buying a new car. It's probably 20 grand, maybe even more. So, yeah. Morality is the worst quality, said a good entrepreneur. Fair. That is a true statement. For an entrepreneur, morality is the worst quality to have. I would be a horrible entrepreneur. So I just feel horrible. It's only illegal if you get caught. Nah, it's illegal even if you don't get caught. Like I said, real life is problem, LL is meh. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you decide, like, there is a legit decision to go there because you can make a lot of money off that Limian. And then you can live well for a little bit. If you sell it right, if you do it right, of course you can just do it absolutely wrong and get caught and not sell the Lumian, and then it's a lose-lose. Which, again, I would never do that. If I found a Lumian like that, I would never do that because I make videos on LL, on YouTube, that on a game I enjoy playing. It is a very interesting situation, though. Like, it's very interesting to see what other people would do in that spot. How bad would the ability be that the Lumian make moves restore 50% of the damage done as energy, but the Lumian can't wait to rest and has passive energy forcing it to attack mostly? It could be an interesting ability. I'm considering spending my college fund on LL. No, don't do that. Don't waste all your money. Don't waste your entire college fund on LL. Celesting the Pit. Josh, can I donate you something? Nah, keep it. Hence, also welcome to the stream, Henzo Del One. But yeah, keep your Robux, keep your money, keep your Lumian. I usually do not like taking donations. It depends on how much they're offering. Yeah, that's a fair point as well. It depends on how much the person's offering too. And plus, people might just not even accept the offers. Another thing, like you can sell a Rainbow Wisp Gamma Dakuda for $100,000, which, yeah, for the odds, 1 in 2.6 billion, that is worth the money. But no one's gonna buy that Lumian with $100,000. No one's gonna buy it to that price. Is another thing. So, how much can he actually even get from just that one Lumian? I feel like the best way is to trade down for other rare Lumians and then sell them. You know what I mean? Trading down. Trade down from the rare Lumian, and then use those other Lumians that you get to trade down again, and then list them. Because if you trade, because you can't just trade just one rare Lumian. No one's gonna buy it for $100,000. Y'all know what I mean? Reminder to like this video. We got way less than 1/4 like. Yep, like the video and subscribe to the Joshua Star 77 channel. Like and subscribe. We only have 31% of viewers like and subscribe to my videos. I'm joking, obviously. You can like and subscribe whatever y'all want. It's a joke. PvP battles in 3 minutes? I don't know if I want to do any PvP today. Like, I know I said earlier that I could maybe, but I don't know. I kind of want to just hunt a little bit today. Maybe I'll... Actually, no, you want to do that battle with the... I'll do one battle. I'll battle you, Exotic Bubblegum. And I'll do my team of Geklos. And then after that, I'll go back to hunting. To me, I will see a long term. LL is not forever. No replay. Their common Nexoman cassette beast all replay. LL, you're spending too much. That the problem? Yeah, that's the thing, is that LL is not something that you can make off long term. Even with its slow update schedule, eventually LL is gonna finish their game. So you can't just live off of making money off of LL. Like, that's why if you find something that's rare and then sell it on the black market, you can actually make money off of that. Like, it's a decision that the person themselves have to make. Again, I'm not saying it's the right decision. It's not. I would never do that. But I could definitely see people make that decision. Just because it's illegal, it doesn't stop people from doing it. I got one singular boost token, which means like, good luck. Festive Spirit Weaselin. And I have a nonsense team that you would hate. Oh god, nonsense teams. Oh god. That would be tough. Hi Bullet, welcome to the stream. So you're saying I should sell out now? I wouldn't want to say sell out. Like, if you want to keep playing LL, don't do it, because you'll be bad. But if you don't want to, if you want to quit LL and don't want to play anymore, and confident that you don't want to play anymore, that is something you could do. Which Limian do you find to be the bane of your existence? Teclipse. Teclipse, easily. It used to be Lashent, but honestly, Lashent's more annoying, not necessarily that bad. Plus, I face so many Lashents that I kind of know how to beat them now. Teclipse, oh god. Teclipse was the kind of Lumion that if you see a Teclipse, you're never clicking Dark-type moves. Never, ever in your life clicking Dark-type moves. That's how traumatizing Teclipse is as a Lumion. Would it even work? Alright, let's do our battle exotic bubblegum. 200 very hyper Weaselin Raging Howl versus 200 HP. 56% chance to Oko. Ow! That's a lot. It wouldn't hurt, it wouldn't destroy very clever, but they don't tend to run very clever. To be fair, they don't tend to run very clever. So experimental, public. Where are you? There's my team of Geklas. Let's do it. Let's see what you have, exotic. Alright. I have no idea what he's going to bring. I have no idea what exotic bubblegum is going to bring. But my team of Geklos are going to face it, so we're just going to see what happens. Let's see. Kabungas. Alright. So Geklos versus Kabunga. Honestly, I do not have that much confidence because, as you can see, I get a lot of electric types. So, electric types versus these are not necessarily ideal. Plus, Kabungas are also super duper fast. So, yeah. They're also super duper fast. The only way I can maybe win this battle is if I play this right. I just don't know what to bring. You have Rejuvenate. Thunderstorms ain't gonna help me at all, would it? Could I just break through the Kabunga? I don't know. You look fun. I gotta play this right. It's a bad matchup, because Kabunga not only are faster than Geklos, but they also have good stats, too. Heavy armor could be so good if I play... Alright, I know my play. I know my play. So, I'll lead with you. Yeah, I'll lead with you. I don't know who to lead with, actually. I actually have no idea what to lead with. Yeah, the battle of the two dodge spammers. You're right, the battle of two dodge spammers. We'll lead with you and see what you have. Alright. This is my Ace Geklo. So I have no idea what any of these Kabungas are going to run. They could run anything, because this is... I'm just going to Frostbeam turn 1 and see what the Kabunga clicks. Watch us be like insulate at Kabunga for the sake of... Clutch Plushie. Is this Clutch Plushie RTS? Uh-oh. Gnarly Gash. Alright, I see you. I see you! Do you have Gnarly Gash in every Geklo? He probably does. Well, I know who I'm going into then. I'm going to at least click one priority move, but... Well, Shadow Sprint. Bye-bye. So there's the Shadow Sprint one. Problem is this could be a win condition where I could win by just setting up one battle time. It's just one of those. Yeah, just one of those situations where I just don't know. I can't really sack any Geklos. Unless... Oh! That's the one I did not want to switch. That was the one Geklo I did not want to sack. Okay, I lost probably, depending on what move you click. Oh, Fiery Fondant. That did no damage. Double Strike. Uh-oh. Wait. Eh? Oh. What just happened? What the heck just happened there? Chop. You have the double flinch. Are you gonna double flinch me? No, I got my accelerate up, thank God. Okay, I got my double accelerate up. I'll battering ram first because I don't want his melee defense to get too high. Even at +2, that's still Okos. Is this it? Wait, did I just win? Unless he already used his clutch plushie, unless he has multiple. Rain Globe, Rain Rush. Rain Rush Kabunga! Rain Rush, Rain Rush! Rain Rush Kabunga, really? Climate Cannon. Really? Really? That's the techiest Kabunga set to have ever been tech. And I have no way to override the Thunderstorms, neither. I have no way to... Oh, it's so risky. Oh, it's so risky. Like, you could live, but I have no way to, like, do it. I don't even have battering ram on this one. But I have to paint shower, right? I have to paint shower. You're clutch plushie. Do I just Draco Beam and hope? Draco Beam and pray. Hope and pray and hope the rest of the pilfer. So you're pilfer too, so no more... Okay, I actually did not do that much. So clutch plushie gets stolen. I actually do hit Draco. Good, I hit Draco. Boom! That is in range. Alright, that's in range for a jolt. That is in range for a jolt. That is in range for a jolt because I'm at +2. Jolt! Alright. Jeez, that Rain Rush Kabunga completely caught me off guard, but it's fine. I just don't have any other clutch plushies available, though. I just don't know what other Kabunga sets he has left. I just don't know what other Kabunga sets he has left, so I have no idea what he has. Which is really going to make this tricky. Unless, like, he probably has a move to hit me. Let's be honest. He probably has a move to hit me. But, man, if I could just... How fast are you? How fast are you? Oh, you're very smart! You're not very nimble! I have to jolt it. Darn, I have to jolt it. But if he sets up, I'm screwed. I actually did a decent chunk. Dart Burst. Okay. It's only Dart Burst. Okay, he's the 10 hitting variant. Good to know. He's Replicate. No, not Replicate. You know what ability I'm talking about. He's that Kabunga. He's that Kabunga. So he's Dart Burst, multiple attacks. I know what this is at least. Which side hits harder on this Geklo? Which side hits harder? Range. So we should click Stratagem. Stratagem's better then. He switched! He switched! He's saving it. He's saving the Geklo. What is it? Petrifying. Oh, that's good! That's actually really good. I don't know what your move is. Oh. Oh, God. I think I might know how to play. It really ultimately depends on what he has left. I'm going to tamp once. Slap down. Are you kidding? Slap down on that. Well, I clicked tamped once, but yeah. Looks like we're going to have a defensive war. So, yes, slap down. Actually, I could maybe. Actually, if I sack this Earthquake. Never mind, he has Earthquake. Because of course he does. But that didn't do that much damage, thankfully. Can my last Geklo live a hit? No, I won't be able to chime is the problem. I won't be able to battle chime if it clicks slap down. So no, I gotta defeat this I gotta defeat this first. No, I'm gonna wait first. Wait. Just wait. Oh, I don't have enough rejuvenate turns to stay alive. Icicle Trap for the last Geklo is not ideal. Oh, I know how to play this, actually. I know how to play this. Tamp again. Tamp again. Yeah, tamp again. This is like... And I can't get status either. Oh, he waited. Darn, I didn't want him to wait that turn. I'm worried, because he's going to crit me. I have a feeling he's going to crit me. I could go for a Body Crash, then a heal. So that's what I'll do. Don't crit and we're good. Okay, no crit that turn. Good. One more. Can get rid of you. He won't crit me, right? Photo! Really? Well, that sucks. He has a healing move, but at least he's stuck. Wait, okay. So if he clicks Earthquake, he's going to be out of energy, right? He'll be out of energy. Oh, he'll have enough for one more. Rest. Rest. He rested 2. Okay, yeah, just keep... Oh, no. This is bad, actually. I gotta heal. I gotta heal. I gotta heal. Oh, my God. Why is this so tough? Maybe I can crit him first? Yeah, okay, he healed. He healed with me. Okay, good. This is stall! And I can't even see my Geklos because the stupid Kabunga placed icicle traps. So, I can't even see the Kabunga. I'll tap one more time. Thing is, all it takes is 1 crit and I'm done for. Maybe 2 crits. It'd be a crit and another attack that would do me in. Rejuvenate, rest. That's the way I play this. Oh, he's actually going to run out of energy soon, actually. Oh, he caught me bad. I'm on a brutal... I'm kind of stuck in moves. If I get critted on this turn, though, I'm screwed. Just don't crit me this turn. That's all I beg you. Don't crit me this turn. I lost. There's nothing I can do anymore. That's the turn it crits me on. That's the turn it crits me on. And the icicle traps will do a lot of damage. We're screwed. There's no way we can win now. Please, why? Why did it have to be... Just don't do half. No! Stupid Kabunga! I hate Kabunga now. Maybe Adaptive Assault just does 700 damage. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't do enough. Oh, yeah. That was a crit. Oh, so now you give me the crit. Well, the team of Geklos loses to Kabunga. To be fair, I had the worst matchup I could ever do there. I mean, let's look at Kabunga's stat compared to Geklos. Let's look at Kabunga's stats real quick. You know what? So let me show y'all Geklos stats, and let me show y'all Kabunga's stats. Not to mention that my Geklos are not specifically built to counter a specific Lumion, when his Kabungas are probably specifically countered to beat Geklo. So that is something that y'all gotta keep in mind. Like, look at how much better their stats are compared to this. Like, 76 melee attack, like, come on! That's just not fair! Hey, the Geklos team Reign of Terror needed to end at some point, and I guess it ends today. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of Kabunga's absolutely sweeping Geklos, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye! Freaking Kabunga! Screw Kabunga, honestly. Honestly, Kabunga, get off my screen. That Kabunga was... Of course it was the Lachette copy that beats me. Of course it was the Lachette copy that beats me. Of course it was the Lachette copy one that beats me. Shocking absolutely no one. I'm gonna go for top 100 because I kind of want the crowns. I haven't gotten Ace since Season 0. Because other seasons would bore me to death, but I'm Expert 1 right now. Alright, good luck. Question. Exotic Bubblegum was... How many of your Kabungas had super effective moves? That's the thing I'm curious about. Because that was... I felt like every Kabunga had a super effective move. Yeah. Only 3? Only 3? Oh my goodness. It was a nail biter, I'll give it that. It was a good battle. If I just wasn't crit that one time. If I just wasn't crit on that rest. Yeah, it gets lower each season because a lot more people leave the game and a lot of people don't want to grind that leaderboard. Like, a lot of people just don't want to grind the rank leaderboard because the ELO system sucks. The MMR system is absolute garbage in LL. It isn't even just because everyone's quitting. It's just because a lot more people don't want to grind to a game where the MMR system needs a rework. The MMR system is just so demoralizing in LL. It's just so demoralizing. Like, especially when you get higher on the leaderboards. Yeah, once you get a crown, you have a crown, you're good. Like, I got my top 100 crown in Season 2, and I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with it getting it once. Yeah, 10 rank per win. Once you're higher, 5 rank per win, and you lose 20 per loss. Like, I know that Brick Bronze had an ELO system similar, but just because other games have a similar system than LLs, doesn't mean that the system itself doesn't suck. Exactly, there's no reason other than grinding for the crowns, and even then, crowns are cool, but they're not necessarily worth it, per se. Most people in Brick Bronze alt farm. Yeah, they just alt farmed. I didn't do that when I played Brick Bronze, but of course I didn't play competitive Brick Bronze PvP. I played with my adventure team. So I had no structure or team. I'm basically what a lot of LL noobs are right now in the Coliseum. That was me in Brick Bronze. 6 accounts? Her leaderboards? Jesus. But yeah, I think I got, what was my ELO in Brick Bronze? I'm trying to remember. I got to like 1,700, I think, at one point. I think the starting was 1,200. Keep in mind, I wasn't a competitive PvPer back then, and I didn't know anything about Pokemon stats, abilities, TPs, UPs, VPs, everything. MPs, BPs, APs. I don't know. I didn't know any Ps back then. So, yeah. I just used my adventure team, and that's how I got. Won a lot of battles, lost a lot of battles, basically. That's basically what happened in Brick Bronze. All the way until Brick Bronze got deleted. My ELO was 4. The thing is, you start it with 1,200. In Brick Bronze, you always start it. You ran Goth. Of course you ran Goth. Of course you ran Goth with Shadow Tag. I'm not even shocked. Imagine if LL had Shadow Tag or Arena Trap. Imagine if LL had Arena Trap or Shadow Tag. That would actually be dangerous. That would actually be dangerous. Arena Trap and LL would be so dangerous. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Stoops will have a stream at... But yeah, Con Stoops will have a stream in an hour. So I think I'm only going to hunt for 45 minutes and then I'll end the stream. I think that'll be what I do. The concept of me being a stall user for 8 years now. Yeah, I assume the strategy was either 4 walls, Gothitelle, and 1 other Lumion. I feel like that was what they used. Or was it 5 defensive walls and then Gothitelle? Or did he use something like with Pursuit, or did he use like a hard-hitting Pursuit Trapper? I think people did that too. Okay, you just ran 6 walls. Okay. What I thought you would do is that you would run something like Scarf on Gothitelle and then, you know, destroy the Stall Breaker, and then you back off a 5-on-5 with the rest of your walls. You know what I mean? Because that's what a lot of those Arena Trap, Dugtrios, those Shadow Tag Gengars, those Shadow Tag Gothitelles, that's what they tend to... Especially Gothitelle. That's what Gothitelle did. It would trick a Scarf to something, to the Stall Breaker, and trap it. And since it had Shadow Tag, that Pokemon was trapped on the field. The only reason I know a lot about Gothitelle is because I watch a lot of Wolfie VGC, and he uses that Pokemon all the time. So I know about Gothitelle and Shadow Tag pretty well. Honestly, I hope they add a Shadow Tag or Arena Trap Lumion, because I want to use Conclusion Trap for doubles. My internet is so buns right now, but we need Shadow Tag and LL. 2 matchup fishy for me. Yeah, that's the problem with Stall for me, is that I don't know why, I always struggle at using Stall. Mainly because I'm very impatient as a player. I'm a very offensive player. Like, even if I can predict something else coming in, I always use stuff that attacks. I don't like making hard switches. I always try to predict a move that will do the most damage on the Loomian that switches in. I'm a very aggressive player. That attack, attack, and attack again. Sometimes I'll do hard swaps. Most of the time, I just go attacky attack. And I usually try to play Loomian Legacy off of game planning and planning what my opponent's going to do, over trying to go for a hard read every time. Like, that's the thing. When it comes to making a critical 50-50, I'm very bad at that kind of game. But I feel like where I do well is trying to predict what my opponent's going to do and realizing what I can do from there to not lose the game on the spot. Knowing what game states I have, the win or lose. I feel like that's where I'm good at. I know which kind of game states can win me or lose me a game. And I know how to keep myself in a game. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm done with what I was doing. Any good finds? No good finds so far, unfortunately. I don't like playing reactively. Did you see the new trailer for ZA DLC? I haven't, actually. I used 7 glass cannons to get the Hyper 2 because I just hate stall. Yeah, use, like, offense. And honestly, just using Hyper offense to reach Hyper and then Expert is a good strategy, just so you can get through the low ladders really quickly. And then switch to a more efficient team once you know. Oh, there's a Metro. Please! SA! And then switch to a typical team once you get to Expert 1, I would say. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. The only thing you missed is a battle between Kabungas and Geklos. Problem, Kabungas had great matchups versus Geklos, so you probably know who won that match. I also got a bad crit, but it happens. But yeah, that's the thing. When I play LL, I try to stay away from hard reads, especially hard reads that lose me games. Like, we could pull a speeder and claim counter teaming. Always. We could always claim that counter teaming is a problem when you lose. It wasn't counter teaming, to be fair. It's just that Kabungas had better matchup than Geklos. It's nothing else to really say, and I got critted. It wasn't really a counter team thing. Hi, Super Bean. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I don't play the hard reads because, especially hard reads where I can lose a Loomian on the spot for nothing. Like, yeah, when you make a good hard read, you can put yourself in a good position to stay alive. But sometimes when you do a hard read and fails, you lose on the spot. Like, that's the thing that I'm scared about when I do hard reads. I only do hard reads when I feel safe that I can make the right read. And even if I call the wrong lead, the wrong play, I don't get punished as badly. You know what I mean? Those are the only times I'll ever do like a hard read. Every other time, I always play with a game plan in mind. You know what? And I do a pretty good job of predicting my opponent. But I have a hard time. But I have a hard time when it comes to making the 50-50 calls. Exactly, you don't need to. You just do mid-ground plays. Exactly, Corey. That's what I do. That's what I do. Make plays that don't immediately lose. Like, that's what... When I was in TLS, I had a teammate named SJ. He's another content creator. He used to make content. I don't think he does anymore. But he played with a lot of hard reads in mind. And there were so many times where he made a critical hard read. And he just put himself in an amazing position. But there's also so many other times where he tried to make a hard read and he lost a Loomian for no reason. And I understand when you're into higher levels, when you're playing TLS, a lot higher standard of competition, you do need to make some of those plays. And sometimes when you're behind, you have to make hard reads in order to just stay alive. But I've seen people do it when they're up or in a tied game state, and then they lose a lot of ground because of it. And that's something, I try to not lose a lot of ground when I have the lead. You know what I mean? I love Kabunga. Oh yeah, you most certainly love Kabunga, Exotic. Yeah, it is getting Sly, so it might actually be a decent showcase Loomian once it gets Sly. That's a lot of players. Unless you're behind and need to make plays, they think predictions are everything. You don't have to make predictions all the time. You can just game flow. I feel like LL game flow is the most important part. Knowing which Loomians that you struggle with. Knowing which Loomians that you do well with. Keeping your critical Loomians for the critical threats. And knowing which offensive Loomians can deal the damage. There's a lot more than just making a hard read. Because sometimes when you make the hard read, your hard read can be wrong. What do I run on Scienta? What do you want to run Scienta with? Do you want to... Yeah, thinking ahead of the match is tough, too. I just looked back at our battle, and I noticed, why did my Kabunga attack a third time after the double strike fiery fondant? No clue! I have no idea why it attacked a third time. I guess it's because the recoil animation, but still, I don't know why it attacked the third time. The thing is that even if you lose a certain counter for Tyrex, like for example, if you you lose your Lamello to Tyrex coming in. That's bad. But you get the repugnant poison, and you have other offensive things to either, you know, defensively switch it out and add momentum, or have a thing that could live one hit and stall a poison turn. Like, that's something that could work, too. Sometimes it doesn't just have to be Lumello constantly switching into Tyrex and being worried about the health. Now, of course, there are some times where you want to serve your HP. Like, there was a battle in my future showcase video where I needed to switch Illuminami in to get HP back from Power Napper and then switch back out. But in a lot of situations, your decision-making really ultimately depends on what happens within the game. Because all the decisions from your team to a different team, you're going to make a different decision every time depending on what's going on in the battle. So far out, for my 1K cakes, I found 3. You found a Gamma, 3 Alphas, and 1 SA. Nice! Kabunga doesn't spin after getting Coconut Bomb recoil. That's so weird. So why is it like that for Fiery Fondant, but not Coconut Bomb? That's weird. And you still have 700 cakes. Okay, yeah, so you still have a lot of chances to get more stuff. Putting Power Cuffs on it. Wish me luck. I'm gonna do rank. Good luck. Usually I would rather Clutch Plushie so it can stay alive. Either Clutch Plushie, although Cuffs can work. Cuffs can work. Clutch Plushie. You could even do something like... I guess you could even do something like a Shell. A Shell could work too. But yeah, Cuffs I think makes the most sense. If you already have your Clutch Plushie used up, yeah, probably Cuffs. So I really wanted to use the Double Strike Shatter against you. Dengeklo's weak immune. We're on that Shine Shell. Yeah, that Shine Shell Light Dash to Oko Zulong. That Shine Shell Light Dash. The Oko Zulong after a Brawn boost. And a Cheyenne, and also a Dragodyne after Brawn boost. Because, yeah, usually those Light Dash Cheyennes are very brawny, not very nimble. So they would underspeed very nimble Dragodyne. Which is kind of funny. Okay, so you had Shatter. Okay, fair. If I didn't lose that Accelerate one to the Rain one, I think I could have had a chance with the Kabungas. Problem is, I think I let that Geklo, my Accelerate one, die too quick. And that's what did me in. Hope, can Luminami stop existing so I can use cool stuff? Yeah, Luminami... Yeah, Luminami does not allow fun. Luminami does not allow fun. For other people's teams. For your team, though, Luminami allows all the fun. That's the thing with Luminami. You love to have it, you hate to face it. That's the thing with Luminami. You love to have it on your team, but you hate to face it. You know what I mean? Wasn't into PvP much when I got into PvP ready, Scientist, so I put Very Nimble by... Okay, yeah, that's fair. You can still rally for a very brawny one if you want. Yeah, it's because Lachent is Lachent. Lachent is Lachent. You can even even the copy is potent. I'm using Goggles Luminami. Once you get... I'm using... If it was the Luminami with my base stat changes, I would 100% try 108 Awakening Specialty Goggles. So imagine that slow Luminami doing a lot of momentum with hard-hitting Flash and Flaze, boosted by Goggles and Awakening. That can actually do a lot of damage. Instead of being a slow pivoter for defense and then healing HP back, it would be a slow pivoter in a different way, just dealing 700 damage. I mean, yeah, that could work, actually. Very smart Surkame, Goggles of Tone Deaf. What other moves would it run? Resonate, Frost Beam, but it'd still run Body Crash for the metal types, though. But yeah. No. I don't think Jamie should give Luminami Dissipate, because that would make it so Luminami could Dissipate on Lachette. So no. I wouldn't even replace Flash and Flay with Dissipate. I would just keep Flash and Flay and just get rid of Power Napper. That's what I would do. Get rid of Power Napper and make it Nightlight. Yep. Yep, Wintrix has the Wise ability, even though it's a neutral hit. Even though it's a resistant hit, the resistant hit is neutral because of the Wise ability on Wintrix. And a critical hit from Specialty Goggles Wintrix hits pretty hard. So I could see that. Ooh, that's something. That's funny, actually. Yeah, I would be able to pick. I know, I was watching Speeder's video last night, and he was like, we should drop Flash and Flay on Luminami for Dissipate. No! No! That's gonna make Luminami even more annoying. Even though if it can't attack, it will still do the same thing it does. If not even more effective. Is Restrictive Armor Terradescent good? It can be pretty good, especially with the Watcher ability. But it is definitely not the meta Terradescent set. The meta Terradescent set is definitely Drudge. Definitely Drudge Mesmerizing, I would say. Or Drudge Illuminate. But you can use Watcher Restrictive Armor and have like a slow Terradescent soak a hit and do a lot of damage in return. That is definitely something you can do. Because Parasitize can actually heal your HP back. Oh, I guess that's fair. So yeah, you won't have restrictive items, but still. But at the cost of a restrictive item, you could run Peace of Mind Rejuvenate again. So it also comes at a cost. I agree, we're not giving Luminami more. Alright, here we go. Pity coming up. Here comes my pity. Wish me luck. Please! I'm just praying. Please? I mean, it's not the worst find, but also, why? Why couldn't this be something else? At least it can't heartbreak me, so that's good. You can't break my heart. My heart cannot be broken, because I'm a spirit type. And spirit types are dead inside. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it's a nice find, but first of all, I already got one of these. I got these off stream. And I got 2 Gammas already, so I don't really need any more. I use a Heart Disc. I've been using a lot of these this event, surprisingly. Luminami is fun to use when you use it. When you face it, it's not. We only got 2 fast melee metal types, being Hunter and Krabtana. So a third one would be cool. Yeah, a third one would be cool. I mean, you could run Specialty Boots Tyrex, too. That is definitely something you can run. The reason why Boots Tyrex can work is because if you run Brawny Nimble with Power Jaw, you could do a decent amount of damage, and then with Nimble 200, you could speed creep Very Nimble Zulong by 1. So if you need extra speed on Illumian, you could definitely plop it on an offensive Tyrex. Not saying it's the meta Tyrex set, but you can do it. Your die round center. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. The thing is, lukewarm take. This dude's Wintrix is a nightmare. Yeah, Wintrix is very good. The Watcher ability on it with restrictive armor. Yeah, it can be used. Restrictive armor Terradescent can be used. In fact, it opens up another attacking move for coverage. So there's definitely precedent there. You can definitely use it, but it's definitely more of something that can catch people off guard, not necessarily something that's standard. That's fine. A set doesn't have to be standard to be solid. I hope so too. I hope it's a fast melee attacker too. Fast metal type attacker. All I'm gonna say is that it's impossible to safety block Terradescent's Flash and Flay. Wait. Is that it's impossible to safety block. So yeah, plant types can block Flash and Flay, but Parasitize can hit them. Oh! Oh, you can run Flash and Flay on it. Yeah, I guess you could do that. And then you could use Terradescent as slow pivot. Ooh. That's actually interesting in a way. Would it run Flash and Flay on a restrictive set? I guess it could. Yeah, you could open it up because you can have Hyper Sting, Parasitize, and Wave Wrecker as your moves. So you could definitely run Flash and Flay as a last move. You can run it as a last move and make it a slow pivot. Yeah, it could definitely work. 200, very... 200, Specialty Goggles, High Explosive, Bar Blast. Illuminami under Strong Gust. Yeah, it's Illuminami under Strong Gust, though, so yeah, it makes sense. FNF is the only reason I use Restrictive. Yeah. Yeah, it could work because you have a move spot open. You could run Primal Slash to hit Cosmere a little harder, but there's no reason to really run Primal Slash when Hyper Sting, Parasitize, and Wave Wrecker gives you the coverage you need. When you can Flash and Flay off of a bad matchup and pivot out. And then you can use something like Parasitize to heal later, or use something like Wiki Wiki to heal Terradescent back up. Not to mention, Terradescent's defensive typing is really good. Only 1 quad weakness and 1 weakness. Hi Freddy, welcome to the stream. Thank God for Bonecki countering Phage Knot. It counters a couple Phage Knots, not all of them. It doesn't counter ramp, but it does counter the non-ramp variants. Oh, Hypno FNF. Oh, Hypno FNF. I guess that's that can be used. Although you can't run restrictive if you do that. You have to run a different set if that is the case. But yeah, that could work. That could work. Especially since everyone is expecting Drudge. You know what's an interesting strategy I've been using lately when it comes to videos? So, a lot of people think of me as the guy that tries to speed creep everything. So I always add a lot of unnecessary speed on a lot of Illumians just to outspeed certain threats. Because, you know, when you attack first, speed is one of the most important stats in LL. Because if you attack first, and if you get the Oko, you get a free attack, your opponent, you lose as Illumian. So, having the higher speed and going first is something that can make or break a game. But I've actually started to opt out of the speed war a little bit. Because a lot of the fast, hard-hitting Lumians with over 100 plus speed are, you know, are not hitting as hard against the bulky Lumians. Because they're running very nimble, or nimble smart, or nimble brawny. So what I've been doing is running the hardest hitting Lumians possible at around that speed tier, knowing that I will underspeed every other Lumian in that tier, and knowing that I can outspeed pretty much any wall. Yes, I would be outsped by the other versions, other hard-hitting Lumians, but it would give me a better matchup versus defense. So if I can play correctly and put those 100 speed, very smart goggles or very brawny gloves Lumians on the field, I can do so much damage that they have nothing they can do about it. Have you tried the blunder strat of sacking the showcase mon turn 1? I haven't tried that strat. I hope I never have to, though. Nah, to counter Phage Knot, you have Himber. Yeah, Himber can counter it. Unless the Harmonious Chord puts you to sleep like it did in one of my battles. Hi, Daniel Barker. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, the strat I've been using has been dropping the speed on a lot of the fast Lumions, and then just run the hardest hitting Lumion I could possibly hit. Like, for example, one of my I actually used Ranged Wyndolin in a showcase. I used Fog, Ranged Wyndolin. It was very smart. Specialty Goggles, Phantom Blast under Fog. Fun fact, that actually hits harder than Sharp Claw, Specialty Gloves, Very Brawny Wyndolin with Fade Away and Adaptive Assault. Ranged Wyndolin stab moves hit harder than its stab melee attacking moves. That is crazy, considering it has 20 more melee attack than ranged attack. And what I've been doing, like, I've been looking back at everything. Like, if I run Ronsador again, I've been thinking about running Ronsador again, but instead of running very nimble goggles to outspeed more threats, I'm really thinking about running very smart goggles or very smart cuffs. So I can hit really, really hard. A lot harder than a lot of teams could ever expect. It's so good at breaking through defense, but it does struggle versus offense. But if I can get those Lumions into the field at the right time, I feel confident that I can win pretty much any matchup. Y'all know what I mean? Like, you can see the strategy I'm thinking about there. Day I lost count already low, I think 5 of asking Josh to showcase melee tank Swolder. Oh, Gargolem. But we're stuck. Yeah, 75 base power stab compared to 110 on the range side. I lost the rank match. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it needs Haru. I agree. If it has Haru, I think the melee version would hit a little harder. It still would be close, but still. Ranged Wyndolin hits harder than melee under Fog. Under Fog, it does. Outside of Fog, melee version hits a tiny bit harder. But not by much. And that's if it's Sharp Claws, Very Brawny, Specialty Gloves versus Very Smart Specialty Goggles. Got scammed? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, Splashy. Also, welcome to the stream. You need a better melee air-type moves? Yeah, all the melee air-type moves suck. I mean, on the range side, we have Typhoon. We have Typhoon, Expert Onslaught, and Jetstream. On the melee side, our best air moves are Double Beat, which has a 10% chance of missing, and Nosedive, which is only 95, base power, not 100 or more. So yeah. I know that your account is owned by SureBot PvP. Nosedive is getting changed and we're getting acrobatics. We're getting acrobatics?! Oh my god, that's gonna be huge. We're gonna use some of that draft shell acrobatics nonsense. That's gonna be so funny. But even if we get acrobatics, it's still not gonna do damage before the acrobatics. Acrobatics is a move where it only does like 55 base power, but once it uses an item, it doubles in damage. So it'll do 110 after you use the draft shell. I agree, like, can we have a melee-type air move that doesn't miss with 90 power? I really do not like moves that miss. I always go away. At least there's Nosedive, but then, if they're changing Nosedive, then we don't have any other moves. Why didn't I get the Baffle MM? I beat the A story. E for Delutrix? Wait, Baffle's an MM? I did not even know that. Yeah, it remains 110 base power after it uses an item. Oh, it's getting changed! Oh, that's good. So Nosedive will be a lot stronger now. That's good. So Nosedive is basically becoming Air-type and Air-type Collision Course, or Electric-type Electro Drift, basically. Except it's only 95 base power, not 100. That's cool. So Nosedive's actually going to be a lot stronger now. You know what? That's actually good. I like that. The only problem is it is going to nerf Madcap. It is going to nerf the Madcap Avatrosses a little bit. But hey, it's a small price you got to take in order for a Nosedive buff. Flying Gem, Sword Stance, Acrobatic, Gliscor, Peak Gen 5. Yeah! Coconut Bomb takes forever. I'm impatient. Yeah, that animation does last long. If you, Pid, Farl, Endless, Kilson, and Jamie were to all battle each other in PvP until there is only one left standing, who is coming out as the winner? Well, when am I facing Pid? That's the real question. It depends. I could win if I don't face Pid in any of the brackets. Because I feel like I can stand a chance versus everyone else. I beat Kilson before. I beat Farl before. Although, I think Farl's beaten me more than I beat him. But I think it's like 40-60. Endless? I think I've battled Endless a couple times. I think we're 1-1 against each other. I don't really remember. Jamie I can beat easily. As long as I don't face Pid, I think I have a chance. I don't know. Have I ever faced you, Corey? Have I faced you? Have I faced you in rank or in PvP? I don't remember. I might have faced you in ranked once, but I don't remember I don't remember who won. So I don't know. I don't know how I would do against you. I assume you would be pretty good because you are a top 25. You are a top 25 player, so I assume you're pretty good at the game. But also, Kilson's top 25 and Farl's top 25, and I've beaten them before. So, yeah. Do you think tonight's game will go Raiders mid or Broncos? It's going to be the typical Broncos playing down the competition, but they'll win in the fourth quarter because Raiders. Corey is very good. Okay, so Corey is definitely very good. You're fighting Batman. Alright, good luck, literally real. Good luck. Corey's very good. What's your record versus Corey? I think my record versus you, Farl, is 1-3, but a couple of my losses came from using weird stuff, so I don't feel as helpless against Farl as I am against Pid. If I face Pid, it always feels like against Farl, I can always make one read. I can always make a couple good plays in the game. And then every time I lose, it's either due to a bad read or a misplay. With Pid? Oh gosh. Pid just always seems to know what I'm doing. It's like he has an eye inside my brain every time we face each other. I don't know. I don't keep track of records either. I just try to remember it off the top of my head. Am I 1-3 versus you, or am I 2-3 versus you, Farl? I don't remember. We've done so many battles, I don't remember at all. Am I 1-3 or 2-3? I don't remember. I've only faced Kilson once. I've only faced Kilson once, and I beat him. That was with my Bane of Haste, non-select team. Kilson just one time? You only beat Pid 3 times? I only beat Pid twice. I think I've only beat Pid twice. And that was my first time I've ever faced him in TLS. And 1 or 2 times on stream. Not to mention, I think I'm on a 10 to 13 game losing streak versus Pid. 10 to 13 game losing streak versus Pid. I'm like 3 and probably 16 all time versus Pid. So yeah. Yeah, not good versus Pid. If I face Pid, I'm probably losing. Yeah, that Gorb was defensive priority. Yep. Who would say is the best PvPer in the world? I don't know, honestly. There's a lot of good PvPers right now, honestly. I think the problem with LLPvP is they're either really good players, and then there's players that are just starting. There's no one in that middle ground. There's no one in that good, but needs a little help to be great kind of middle ground. And the people who are noobs, or people just starting PvP, can't really get into it because they get laughed at by the top players. There needs to be a better... There needs to be a better way to get newer PvPers into the game. I feel like that would help the player base, too. I usually don't keep track of the players I face in rank unless I can make fun of them. Oh, that's fair. Also, the Mutagon. I keep track from the top of my head, but I don't go too in-depth with it. Other than it's against Pid. If it's against Pid, then I will. Because I lose to him all the time. It's just... If it's a battle between me and Pid, just bet everything on Pid winning. Bet your entire house that Pid will win, because he will win. Oh! Hi, Worm. For every noob ace slower? I mean, to start, you have to get through a full-time job of PvP prep. The biggest thing with PvP prep is that getting the TPs and getting even the moves and leveling up isn't the problem. It does take long, but not impossible. The thing that takes forever is rallying. Rallying is the worst part of LL, I would say, when it comes to the PvP prep. Got my name wrong, bruh? Oh, ouch. So how about this? If you want to duck the fade with Pid and Attorney, then you have to fight Quarry and Poke Crimson as a penalty. I would rather anything to not fight Pid. I don't even care if the other person I face is better. I think I have better odds. Where are the Kansas City Chiefs before, and what were they called? Kansas City. I gotta... Oh my god, I have no clue. Hi, Sharebot PvP, welcome to the stream. Also, hi, Draft Legend. Sub 1 to PvP book. Book it to the Lashent. First step to PvP prep. Buy a Lashent, pretty much. Buy a Lashent. That's a free Lumion that you can get, and Lashent can be very customizable. Who's Draft Legend? No clue. I don't know who Draft Legend is. It's a place that has an NFL team. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs. I have no clue. It's not St. Louis Chiefs. I mean, it's the easiest one to get, and it's a top tier. Yeah, it is a pretty good Lumion. Lashent is a metal threat that you could use pretty much anyway. Offense, defense, support, Icicle Trapper, Sap Planter, Staller. You can pretty much do everything with Lashent. And then buying the rank limits. I need to buy a defensive Helvantic, actually, in the rank shop. That's something I gotta do at some point. They weren't called the Chiefs when they begun, so... so they weren't called the Chiefs. And I'm lost. Yeah, you could start rallying stuff with the Lashent too, which is huge. If Luminami disappeared, Surkame would step up. And if Lashent disappeared... I feel like Wiki Wiki would rise. It would either be Wiki Wiki or an offensive plant type. Dallas Texans. I know, Servalan losing Vengeance was heartbreaking. I don't know why it lost Vengeance. I understand it was a hard-hitting Lumion, but also, you needed to have the Vengeance boost in order for it to deal a lot of damage. And it doesn't have a lot of coverage to begin with. The only good set for Servalan now is Kilson's set. Is that it's the Scapegoat, Body Crash, Adaptive Assault set with Bolka. That's the only good Servalan set I could think of. And that's not one I made. That's the one Kilson made for a video. Yeah, that's the only good surveillance that I could see people use. You set up a scapegoat on something passive, and then you set up 5,000 times, and you can get the +6 adaptive assault and win the game. That's basically the strategy. It's very hard to use, but if you make it work, you get an auto win. That's the thing with the Servalan. If you make it work, it's an auto win. I would say I'm a team building guy. Cyclochomp, Servalan win. Yo, Joshua, if you had to think up cool nicknames for other PvPers you have fought in LL based on their playstyle, what nicknames would you give them? I don't know. I don't really think of nicknames when I battle people. I just think of them... I just battle people and remember them as... If I battle a Bullet, I think of battling Bullet. If I battle Pin, I think about battling Pin. If I'm battling Farrell, I just battle Farrell. Like, they have different playstyles. Or if I'm battling Stoops, I'm battling Stoops. And then you face Lava Fiend and become a bench warmer. Yeah, Lava Fiend is very defensive and very strong. Yeah, it's always good to have hard-hitting Limians that you don't have to think too much about. That's the thing that made Cosmere, Gargolem Attack, Morphezu, Soulburst Dragodine's another one. There's a lot of Limians. Now Soulburst Imperior, now that Gargolem Attack is banned in rank. Like, they are so... You just bring them into the game safely, and they just dish out a bunch of damage. Delete Crackalola, he hurt me and my family. Ouch. Okay, but what's the point of nerfing Simple? If you already got it Servalan, tell me. Nerfing... I don't know why. Yeah, Simple... Yeah, Ice types could lift Simple hits again. I think that's fine, honestly. Because in the past, I think it was only just Metal. I'm like, yeah, although Simple doesn't hit anything for super effective damage, so I guess it's... Yeah, why did we nerf it? I guess the buff Ice types. I guess it was the buff Ice types was the big reason. Accordingly, the nerf Dragodine 143, range attack to 10, to 0. Yep, that's the best way to nerf Soulburst Dragodine. Just absolutely get rid of all its offenses. Yeah, it actually cooks. Gargolem's speed with Clutch Push is actually a viable set that can be very dangerous if you're not careful or ready for it. Sometimes whether I have a Soulburst Stratosaur, I feel like I'm on Demon Mode. Yeah, Soulburst Stratosaur too. Soulburst Stratosaur. The thing is, Soulburst Stratosaur isn't as broken because electric types can wall it pretty well. But if you don't have an electric type, have fun. You win after a Magnify. You know what I mean? You just win after a Magnify. Yeah, Luminami takes no skill to use. It's the easiest Lumion in all of LL to use. Alright, I think this is going to be my final part of the stream. I'm at Pity, wish me luck! I mean, I'm running. I already have one of these. It just, like, it's not a bad find, but it could have been so much more. Heavy shield strat as Nimble specialty boots Ika outspeeds it? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but Eliguana isn't that common right now. Eliguana isn't common right now, and plus Eliguana doesn't wall it. If you get 2 Magnifies and Airstrike it, it's dead. So yeah, final find of the day, Mochibi. RIP. That is sad. That's unfortunate. So yeah, not the best stream when it comes to the finds again. I'm definitely going to be hunting a little more off camera. I'm going to hunt a lot tonight. I'm probably going to grind through a bunch of tokens tonight. Because I'm definitely not... I'm going to use all of these before the event ends, if I can. I mean, I found an Alpha Fan Cub. But I already have one of those. I'm already bored of ranked. Yeah, ranked is not fun. When does Stoops start his stream? Did he start already? Okay, no, he hasn't started yet. Okay. I'm going to end the stream early because I want to join Stoops' stream. Either maybe as a VC or maybe I could just, you know, talk about some fun stuff. Not sure yet. I'll think about it. Save tokens for Christmas. I could buy a couple packs of boost tokens for Christmas, so I'm fine. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'm going to stream again either tomorrow or Saturday morning, and then that might be it for streaming for the event. Future streams will probably be me playing Terraria or Living in Legacy PvP building teams. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!